Today we're talking about an anime where a guy tries his best to outsmart this girl, but he keeps getting played by said girl when he tries to outsmart her. Welcome to Teasing Master Takagi-san, where we observe the young Nishikata be viciously bullied by this girl, Takagi. It's a story that isn't really special and doesn't do anything drastically different from the standard rom-com template, but its gimmick of boy being bullied by girl is unironically funnier than a lot of the existing rom-coms out there. There were multiple times where I already knew how this kid was going to be played and how this kid was going to be bamboozled, yet at every plan devised by Nishikata and every diversion conducted by Takagi, I still found myself chuckling a noticeable number of times throughout this anime. To share one example of bamboozling, I'd like to highlight the scene which was basically straight out of Taskmaster, where Takagi's like, oh, using the fan you just have to make the eraser travel the furthest distance, and while Nishikata tries his darndest to fan the eraser away, Takagi does the most logical thing and just carries the thing over. Yeah, I'll admit, 3 seasons is a bit much to get to the final confession between the two, and the animation quality is nothing spectacular, but at the same time, there's just something so terribly quaint about watching this anime. It's that innocence between two kids just chilling in junior high school. When I started writing this review, I really had no idea what to talk about, but as I reflect on this anime, the more and more I notice that this is the thing, and this is the vision that we on the right should be striving for, or it's like a picture of a future that we as Christians want to preserve for our young people as they grow up. When you watch Teasing Master Takagi-san, you notice that these kids are living in a society in which it is safe for them to be walking home by themselves. It is safe for them to just wander around their small town. It's a very local and small community in which crime isn't rampant, right? That these kids' parents aren't scared that they might get kidnapped on the streets. There's certainly a lot of roads in this community, but no cars in sight. It's this small little town where you are just able to walk where you need to go and you don't have the eyesore of 50-lane highways within your peripheral vision. It's cute and it's quaint and largely not corrupted by the worst of modern liberalism. These kids can also joke with each other and they laugh at each other, and they're not sensitive little snowflakes who cry at every turn. Like, when I look at some kids of the same age as these guys in this anime, and as I interact with this younger generation in my volunteer work and in my teaching as well, it's so terribly depressing, and I just feel so old when I really shouldn't be as a member of Gen Z. The brain rot amongst Gen Alpha is actually real, and it's crazy that we're only just observing the effects of these kids having been raised on the internet and on short form content. Then we look at this anime where these kids find fun in going outside, physically making stuff as well, and I reinforce what I said, that this is the sort of style of living that we should be wanting for future generations to have. Also, just with the setting of the anime, I'm reminded by that meme where it's like boomers complain that kids don't play outside, and there's the picture below with the caption saying, this is the outside you created. I want to posit that the proverb saying that a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children is applied in this scenario, and it's not just our children that we should be concerned about, but the future of our entire society's children, whom we should also be concerned with as well. When I look at this anime as one example of many for the sort of life that we want to preserve for kids today, it's something I'm so well acquainted in reflecting upon because of my own work with high schoolers, and even though I think most of my audience watching this is young themselves, I think it would also be prudent for you lot, and especially the older minority of my audience, to be thinking about not only the inheritance that you are leaving for your own children, but the inheritance that we collectively as a society will be leaving for the children of the future. Are we collectively building environments for our children to interact with one another, to actually live safely, let alone enjoy themselves, and to utilize those relationships and connections made at a young age in order to empower young people to be confident in entering the workforce and to be empowered to create and build families? Are we participating in churches which are in tune with this line of thinking, and are we as a church collectively also aware of our place as institutions in society which so desperately needs truth? So in summary, this anime is really not that deep, and it being a Christian anime is built on this thesis that I've just provided. I think if you do watch it, prepare to watch it at like 1.5 or 2 times speed, because it really is slow, and as I've said already, if you have my sort of humor, I think it will make you laugh. However, my claim still stands that the whole setting of Teasing Master Takagi-san, the environment which is shown to us, which is unironically an environment which is conducive to positive male-female relationships and is therefore conducive conducive to the creation of families, as these romantic relationships are able to actually develop in the first place. So it is ultimately in the cuteness and the wholesomeness of it all that I consider Teasing Master Takagi-san a Christian anime. For which, if you are interested in other romance anime, I recently did a video on the Studio Ghibli movie Whisper of the Heart.